Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're the Garso Twins. I'm Britta.
And I'm Carli.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, we'd love it if you would subscribe down below. Today we're going to be going through all of our favorite mineral sunscreens, so let's get started. So we want to preface this video by saying we gravitate towards mineral sunscreens because if you're unfamiliar with the differences between mineral and chemical, chemical is obviously a chemical sunscreen. It's not found in nature. It's not a raw ingredient, you know.
It's manufactured.
It's manufactured. And a lot of people can develop sensitivities to chemical sunscreens. So as we've gotten older, we've just gravitated towards minerals even though they leave a white cast, whereas chemical sunscreens are often clear and like invisible on the skin because the chemical blockers absorb the UVB and UVA rays, and that's how they don't penetrate into your skin. And then the physical blockers, so the mineral blockers, actually the rays bounce off of.
Yes.
So then they won't penetrate into your skin. But also, one thing I wanted to mention, another reason why we like mineral is because chemical sunscreens start wearing off or degrading immediately when you put them on. So in general, physical sunscreens will protect you for longer. And for us, like, we don't really apply sunscreen throughout the day because we're wearing makeup. I mean, if we're not wearing makeup, we would. So that's another reason, like, we want to be protected as much as possible for as long as possible. So a mineral sunscreen will generally protect you for longer. Okay, I also believe that for chemical sunscreens, you have to wait 30 minutes for them to actually start working. So not only do they degrade faster, but they take longer to start working. And physical sunscreens, when you put them on, they are effective immediately because it's like a barrier that's blocking, like reflecting the rays.
Exactly.
And also, one last thing is when you're looking for a mineral sunscreen, always make sure it has zinc oxide. It can also have titanium dioxide as a combination, but if it just has titanium dioxide, it's not like it's not as effective, so just don't spend your money on that. Always look for an active of zinc oxide. Okay, we wanted to start with our favorite, but also the most expensive, which is the ILIA Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. We love this product because it is a mineral sunscreen. It has 12% zinc oxide. It's $46. But it is also a base product, so kind of like a foundation. So I feel like you're getting a 2-in-1 here because this you can use as your sunscreen because it has such a high percentage of zinc, but it also has coverage. So we use this basically every day. I'm going through it so quickly.
Me too.
Yeah, I wear it nearly every day. It also has niacinamide, squalane, and hyaluronic acid. It's just an awesome, awesome product. And like Britta said, with a lot of foundations, even if they're like SPF 30, you don't really trust it, and we always wear sunscreen with it. But this, you totally, I feel totally trustworthy. You can see, if you don't shake it, you can see the zinc in it. It's white. It comes out white. It has just as much as some of these other sunscreens we're going to talk about, so it's very effective. Yeah, it's amazing, and I love niacinamide, so anything with that I gravitate towards, and I love the packaging. It's just really good.
It's so good.
Okay, next up is the Versed Guards Up Daily Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 35. This has 15.2% zinc oxide. It's 1.7 fluid ounces. You get quite a bit of product in here. It's $22 and you can get it at Target, which is awesome. And the two I also wanted to mention is 79% post-consumer recycled plastic, which is great. This one is pretty new. We really like it. It's a tinted. Yes, I'll show you. It is tinted. So that's great, so that the zinc, the white from the zinc isn't really showing through. You don't really get much of a white cast. This is a really interesting texture. It feels very almost like cooling on the skin, and then when you blend it out, it kind of feels, I don't know, like a gel in my opinion. It's very, very interesting. And it's thinner than a lot of other zinc sunscreens. When you start to blend it out, it becomes very fluid. Like, not very fluid, but yeah, way less thick than other mineral sunscreens. Like that ILIA is so thick. Like you have to blend that out with your fingers, and this just melts with on contact with your fingers. Like, it's really great. It's really easy to blend in. It looks great under makeup. It actually is a bit like more cushiony than the other sunscreen I'm going to talk about. So I actually really like it on days I don't wear makeup because I just feel like it adds, like, it doesn't add coverage, but it just adds like a layer of something to your face, which I really like. It's a really good sunscreen. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, next up is another drugstore sunscreen. This is actually, I I love the ILIA, but if you want something more affordable, I recommend this so much. I love it so much. It's the CeraVe Hydrating Sunscreen SPF 30 Sheer Tint Mineral Sunscreen. This has a combination of 10% zinc oxide and 5.5% titanium dioxide. I love CeraVe in general. A lot of their products we've raved about. So when I saw they came out with a tinted mineral sunscreen, I literally ordered it as soon as I saw it launch on Amazon. It's $15 and you get 1.7 fluid ounces. So in my opinion, that's a true steal, because if you like wear sunscreen every day, which you should be wearing sunscreen every day, you go through it pretty quickly because you have to apply enough for it to be effective. And so this is like 1.7 ounces. It's pretty standard, but you do go through it way quicker than you would a foundation, in my opinion. And this has a pretty dark tint. I did want to mention that because
it is darker than this one.
Yeah, I feel so. It's so messy. I apologize. I'm like almost out of it. I'm squeezing the last of it out, but it is pretty dark, as you can see from this nozzle. But I can still wear it with my light skin tone because it does sheer out as you blend it into your skin. And what I do love about this is, I don't think we mentioned this, but a lot of mineral sunscreens do have a matte finish because zinc is just in nature, like makes your skin look kind of matte. But this one is truly a hydrating sunscreen, so I love it in the winter time because when my skin is extra dry, like under makeup, it looks so good because it just gives the skin like such a dewy appearance. It is a bit of a thicker formula. I guess I could squeeze some out for you like Carli did with the Verse. It's just hard to get out because it's almost gone. It is a bit of a thicker formula, as I mentioned.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
See how you can see it, you can see the tint visibly, and then even as you blend it in, it's just, it looks like it sits on top of your skin, but not in a bad way because it does feel like it's effective and working. I feel like a lot of sunscreens that kind of feel like they disappear, well, aren't probably a chemical sunscreen, but then I feel like it's not actually creating a layer of protection on my skin.
Yeah,
so I do like that about this. The Verse one is like that too. Like I said, it leaves almost like a cushion on top. Like I don't know if you can see it, but you can see like a sheen, where it's like a layer of what I had applied. And like, do you guys see how shiny this is? So if you have oily skin,
oh, that's very shiny.
Yeah, you might not like it, but like I said, in the winter time, I prefer this. In the summertime, I actually do prefer more of a matte finish, but this is so nice. It is actually super hydrating. Like I said, once you rub it in, I feel like the tint could work for a variety of skin tones. It's so affordable. It has ceramides like all other CeraVe products. It's a really amazing sunscreen, especially for the price point. Okay, next up is my favorite sunscreen. I've talked about this so many times. It's the Purito Comfy Water Sunblock SPF 50, 70% water-based, no white cast, no sticky. That's what it says, no sticky. It's not sticky. 100% physical and non-nano sunblock. And it doesn't have the percentage of zinc oxide listed on here. This is a Korean company, so I actually can't read the two, but I've gone on their website and it says it's zinc oxide based. Like we said, that's what we look for. But it's essentially water based. 70% water is huge. That's crazy. There's also Cica in this, Cica, which can really help calm redness and keep your skin feeling moisturized. And there's niacinamide, which we love as an ingredient. This one is pure white. There is no tint to it, but as you'll see soon, I can show you, it blends in beautifully and leaves no white cast. And so it looks like this. It's not as thick as, because it's water-based, it basically kind of like breaks when you touch it and spreads out very thinly. It's not like thick like the CeraVe or the ILIA. It's not even as thick as the Verse, which really isn't that thick. So I can show you as I start to blend it in. It looks white at first, but it blends out really easy. I mean, it's like effortless, like because of the high water content, it just blends out so nicely. And then you get this really, really even application that looks so great. So this one, right now it looks shiny, but when it dries down, it looks basically matte, which I really look for in the summertime, much like Britta said. We don't really want like a heavy, super dewy sunscreen, especially if we're going to be putting foundation on top, besides the ILIA. The ILIA is the exception because we love it so much. It is very heavy, it's very dewy, but it's just so nice and it has great coverage. But this, for a sunscreen that's possibly going under makeup, or maybe I'll just throw some cream blush on that day, I definitely don't want like a super dewy base. So as you'll see, this dries down to a pretty matte finish, and I really love that. It works well with so many products. Like I've tried various foundations on top and I've never had issues. Some people have peeling issues with this one, but I've never had issues. And it's only $15 for 2 ounces, so it lasts quite a while.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a really good deal, and you can get it on Amazon. Well, you couldn't for a while, now you can. Hopefully you still can. I'll link it down below if you can. Okay, so the CeraVe sunscreen I talked about was out of stock for months, and as you can see, I was like almost done with it. So I went to go order something else, and I found this on Ulta. It's My Shell Dermaceuticals Protect. This seems to be, I think all their products are mineral-based sunscreens on Ulta exclusively, at least from what I've gathered about this brand. And this had the best reviews out of all their products. It is the Sun Shield Liquid SPF 50 in the shade Light Medium. It says broad spectrum protection. You get 1 fluid ounces. It is labeled as reef safe, so that's always a nice attribute. And then on the back, it says sheer tinted oil-free formula with 100% mineral broad spectrum protection, UVA, UVB protection, reduces photo aging, matte finish, and it has 16.1% zinc oxide.
Oh, that might be the highest.
Yeah,
of all of them.
and it's $24, and you do get a little bit less. Like I think all the other ones were 1.7 ounce, or no, the ILIA is only 1 ounce. So this could potentially be like an ILIA dupe, but the coverage is a lot less, I will say that. So it has like you can hopefully hear this, it's super liquidy. It has like the ball inside of it. And I mean, I've come to like really love a dropper sunscreen. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I tried the ILIA and fell in love with that. And then it's way more liquidy than the ILIA.
So is it a plastic pipette?
If there's, I guess.
Yeah, if there's a ball in there, yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you can see how liquidy it is, but I love that because it's so spreadable. Like Carli mentioned, the ILIA is really thick and you have to really work it in with your hands, and also you have to really shake it or like some of the white will show through. This you have to shake as well, obviously, but I feel like it mixes up easier because it's a thinner consistency. I wouldn't really say this provides coverage, but I like that it's tinted so it doesn't get that white cast. It actually comes in 2 shades, which is amazing. It comes in light medium and then medium dark, and I haven't seen the medium dark in person, but on the website it looks pretty deep. So hopefully that would work for all skin types, or skin tones, depending on which shade you need. And I love the matte finish on this because it's not drying, but it does give your skin a nice matte finish. Kind of like a satin matte, I would say, so it just doesn't leave you looking oily, but it just looks good in the summertime when it's just so hot and you don't want to look greasy. I am honestly shocked at how much I love this, and I do love the CeraVe, as I talked about. I've like recommended it time and time again, but I almost think this is my new favorite aside from the ILIA, but I almost think that's in like a league of its own.
Yeah, because it's, like we said, it's also a complexion product that has pretty good coverage.
Yeah, we wanted to include it because it's such a great one and done product if you're like new to mineral sunscreens. Yeah, I just truly love this, and it's oil free, which is another reason I think that it has that matte finish. It doesn't look as hydrating as these other ones that I talked about. It's also vegan and cruelty free. I want to try more from this brand, but I think this is their best product just based on the reviews that I've read, and people are like, holy girl, sunscreen, so I had to try it. $24 for like a good sunscreen I think is a really good deal.
It's only 1 ounce though.
It's only 1 ounce, but I feel like because it's so spreadable that, I don't know, maybe it would last you a while. Like, I don't think you're gonna waste any product because it's so liquidy. Whereas like a lot of, like you guys saw, it was so hard for me to get that CeraVe out because it's so thick and it's in a tube. I feel like it should be in like an airless pump would be ideal, but yeah, I had to mention that. Next up, I wanted to talk about a body sunscreen because for so long we were using chemical blockers on our body. I mean, and still kind of do, like the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer. It's just, I don't know. But we ordered a new Neutrogena one because my dermatologist said to make sure you're wearing SPF 50 on your body if possible. And that one, they got rid of avobenzone in that
they have
gotten rid of avobenzone and oxybenzone in a lot of them, I feel like. But anyways, I was on the hunt last summer for a mineral body sunscreen that I liked, and I found this. Well, Dr. Joy recommended it, which is how I found it. It's the Coppertone Pure and Simple SPF 50. It's like part of their Pure and Simple line, so it says 100% natural botanicals, no PABA, parabens, phthalates, fragrances, dyes, oxybenzone, water resistant for 80 minutes. And this has a whopping 24% zinc oxide, which is crazy. It smells like a typical sunscreen, but when I use this, so this is the only, my boyfriend golfs like at least once a week, and this is the only sunscreen he can wear that like actually keeps him safe from the sun. You wouldn't know he was in the sun for like 8 hours because it works so well. Even if he's wearing like other sunscreens I've given him to try, he always comes back kind of red or tan. But this I feel like protects him so perfectly. Like the sun cannot get through this. I just think it works so well. I love that it's fragrance free because that's an issue with so many body sunscreens. They all have fragrance, and yes, they smell good, but just think of how drying that is on your skin because you keep reapplying it. It's just gonna dry out your skin even more.
So wait, that one's fragrance free too?
Yeah.
But I think all the ones we're talking about are fragrance free.
Oh yeah, on my face I would never use a sunscreen.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying most of the body ones have fragrance, and it's just, yes, it smells good, but it's probably just so drying on your skin than when you're already like out in the sun. And I will say this is pure white. You have to rub this in for a while, but if you want an effective body sunscreen, if you are someone that has like super pale skin, fair skin I should say, this is the best one I found that's mineral based for the body, that's effective. It doesn't have a fragrance. It's so affordable too. I think it's only like $10, and actually I really should have looked it up to make sure they still sell this because I got this last year like I said.
I definitely think they still sell it.
Okay, good. I don't really love the packaging because as you can see, it won't really close anymore. I don't know why. So I just have to make sure I keep it standing up in my cabinet. I can't really lay it down. So it's like hard to travel with because the top doesn't close. But had to mention this, it's amazing. If you guys know of any body mineral sunscreens in a spray format, I'm sure it's very hard to do.
I know,
because
the particles would probably get caught in any sort of nozzle or mechanism for a spray. But if you know of any, let us know.
Because Australian Gold made that one, but it was getting really terrible reviews. And then people were like, this isn't mineral, it has chemical. So I think that's why there were bad reviews. But I don't think I've seen any mineral in a
so
spray.
maybe it's not possible, but if you know, let us know.
And we also wanted to mention that we're dying to try the Cocoa Kind new mineral sunscreen. So if you've tried that one, let us know if it's worth it. I'm sure it is. It looks incredible. It looks beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope it was helpful. We have a passion for sunscreen. We wear it every day. We hope you do as well. It's so important to protect our skin from the sun, not only for skin cancer, but also for aging. We all want to stay looking young.
It's true. We also get yearly checks at the dermatologist.
Yes.
So do that as well.